Pag-aaralan natin how to find the equation of quadratic functions. So it is very important, class, that we know how to write into a quadratic equation the different forms of quadratic function represented by table of values. Ito siya. And then we have the graph, and that's a parabola, and the zeros, or these are the abscissas of our x-intercept points. So here in the next question, can you match the correct equation for each condition above? Choose your answer from the list by writing their corresponding letter in the space. So this is our letter A, letter B, and letter C. We have to correspond it to the right equation here. So, how will we do that? So, yan yung pag-aaralan natin ngayon. Pero bago natin ito sagutan, pag-aaralan muna natin what are the procedures and how we can write quadratic equation given some conditions ng ating quadratic function. So, una, what if binigyan ka ng vertex at saka point? Itong point na to, it's a point of your parabola or your quadratic function. Tapos, we will write the quadratic equation of our quadratic function. So, yung vertex, we know that it's denoted by H and K. And this point here, that one point that we have, siya yung X and Y natin. So, anong gagawin natin dyan? We will substitute it to the equation. Okay, remember this equation. Y is equal to A times the square of X minus H plus K. So, yung Y natin, we will substitute it here. Yung X dito. Yung H natin, ito siya. And then your K is this one. Afterwards, we will solve for A kasi A na lang yung naiwan. Then, we will then simplify the equation and that will be our quadratic function equation. So, first example, we have the vertex 1 and 5. So, this is found in your SLA material. Vertex 1 and 5. So, ito yung H natin. And this is our K. Tapos, yung point 27, isa siyang point ng ating parabola. Or our graph passes to the point 27. So, yung 27, this is your X, and this is your Y. So, ang gagawin natin, isa-substitute natin yan to the equation. Y is equal to A times X minus H, okay, raised to power 2 plus K. So, substituting that, our Y is 7. So, this is 7 equals A times our X is 2. So, 2 minus our H is 1. So, 2 minus 1 raised to a power of 2 plus K, which is 5. Okay. Next, we will simplify this. So, copy 7 equals A. So, since meron tayong parentheses, we will solve the operation first inside the parentheses. So, 2 minus 1, that is 1, raised to a power of 2 plus 5. Okay. Next is copy 7 again. Okay, copy 7 equals A. So that's 1 squared. 1 squared means that is 1 times 1. And 1 times 1 is 1. So that is times 1 plus 5. Okay. Copy 7 again. 7 equals a times 1 is just a plus 5. So, since yung a natin is on the right side already, so wag na natin siyang i-transfer. But we will transfer positive 5 to the left side para mas madali. So, transfer 5 to the left side. So, since that's positive, so pag i-transfer natin yan sa left, it becomes negative. So, 7 minus 5 equals a. Therefore, 7 minus 5 is 2. Therefore, our a is equivalent to 2. So, this is our a. So, anong susunod natin gagawin? So, since we got our a which is equivalent to 2, gagamitin natin ulit yung y is equal to a times x minus h, that's raised to a power of 2 plus k. So, gagamitin natin ulit ito. This time, isa-substitute natin yung a dito at saka yung vertex na lang. So, again, our vertex was 1 and 5. So, si vertex na h at saka k at saka yung a na lang yung isa-substitute natin to this equation. So, yung x at saka y, wag na. So, hindi natin yung isa-substitute. So, substituting that, copy y equals a, which is 2 times x minus 1 plus 5. Okay? So, this is already, okay, nakalimutan ko yung square. So, this is already in a quadratic function. However, this is not yet in the standard form. So, we will rewrite it into the standard form. So, what we will do, copy y equals 2, and then this is a square of a binomial. So, we know that x minus 1 squared, that's equivalent to x minus 1 times x minus 1. So, if we multiply that, that becomes x squared minus 2x plus 1. So, ito, papalitan natin siya ng expanded form na x squared minus 2x plus 1. So, write x squared minus 2x plus 1, then plus 5. So, since mayroon tayong parentheses, alam natin na i-multiply natin yung 2 inside the parentheses. So, copy y equals, so 2 times x squared, that is 2x squared. And then 2 times negative 2x, that's negative 4x. 2 times positive 1, that is positive 2. And then copy plus 5. So, since we are done distributing 2 inside the parentheses, so, i-remove na natin yung parentheses. So, huwag ka nang maglagay ng parentheses sa baba. So, next is, we will combine the like terms. So, alin ba dito yung like terms natin? We have positive 2 at saka positive 5. So, copy again the y equals 2x squared minus 4x, 2 plus 5, that is plus 7. So, this is our quadratic function na equation. Okay, this is our equation. Number 2. So, we are given the vertex 2 and 3. And then our parabola passes through the point 0, 0, which is our origin. So again, hahanapin natin yung quadratic equation natin ng ating function. So our vertex is 2 and 3. It means that our h is 2 and our k is 3. And then, since yung parabola natin passes through the point 0, 0, so ito yung x natin at saka y. So we will do the same process. So we will substitute it to the equation y equals a times x minus h squared plus k, and then our y is 0, so 0 equals a, x natin ay 0 pa rin, minus h, which is 2 squared plus k, which is 3. Okay, so now we will simplify. So 0 equals a. So solve muna natin yung sa loob. So 0 minus 2, that's negative 2 squared plus 3. So copy again, 0 equals a. So that's negative 2 squared. Yung negative 2 squared, yan ay negative 2 times negative 2. So yan ay positive 4. So times 4 plus 3. So 0 equals a times 4. Yung right way na pag-write nito, dapat mauna yung 4 at saka a. So wala na yung parentheses because pag magkatabi yung number at saka variable, it's understood na the operation between them is multiplication. So 4a plus 3. Okay, then solving for a, we have transfer muna natin yung 3 sa left. So 0 minus 3 equals 4a. So 0 minus a, that's negative 3, equals 4a. Okay, so since meron tayong 4 na coefficient ng a, that is multiplication, para manalify natin yan, we have to divide 4. So divide also 4 kasi dapat balance because we are observing equality. So equals 4 divided by 4, that is 1a or just a. And then, yung a natin is negative 3 over 4. So, wag nyo nang gawing decimal ito. So, as is, the fraction of form is negative 3 over 4. That's the value of our a. So, wag matakot if fraction yung a natin. So, again, our a is negative 3 over 4. Yung vertex natin was positive 2 and 3. So, isa-substitute natin yung a at saka yung vertex dito pa rin sa y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. So, kanina yung x at saka y, sinubstitute natin dito. This time, hindi na. So, copy y equals, yung a natin is negative 3 over 4. Copy x minus 2 squared plus k, which is 3. Then, simplify this. So, copy y equals negative 3 over 4. Okay. So, since ito is a square of a binomial, we have to expand that one. So, ano ba yung expanded form ng x minus 2 raised to the power of 2? So, alam natin that that is x minus 2 times x minus 2. So, which is equivalent to x squared minus 4x plus 4. Okay, pwede FOIL ang gamitin natin or pwede rin distributive property. So, it's up to you, but ito yung expanded form niya. So, let's replace x minus 2 squared with the expanded form. So, that is x squared minus 4x plus 4. May parenthesis pa rin siya because we still need to distribute negative 3 over 4 inside. Then, copy plus 3. Okay, so let's continue. So, let's distribute negative 3 over 4. So, y equals, so distribute inside the parentheses. So, that is negative 3 over 4 x squared. So, ito, negative 3 times negative 4, that's positive 12. Yung 4 na denominator, copy lang natin. Then, write x. Negative 3 times 4, that is negative 12. Copy pa rin natin yung denominator na 4. And then, plus 3. Okay, so, remove na natin yung parentheses kasi na-distribute na natin siya. And then, this time, we will simplify it. So, that is copy y, negative 3 over 4 x squared, copy yan. And then, yung 12 at saka 4, pwede siya ma-divide. So, that is positive 3x. And then, yung ito, ma-divide pa rin natin. So, since negative 12 siya, divided by 4, that's negative 3. Then, copy plus 3. O, tingnan nyo, di ba? The last portion can also be combined. So, since negative 3 plus 3, that is 0. Cancel na natin yan. So, that's cancelled. Because 0 yan. Therefore, our quadratic function na equation is equivalent to y equals negative 3 over 4 x squared plus 3x. Here, so look at our drill letter B. So we have here the graph. Now this time we will find the equation of this graph using the vertex and a point. So doing that, we will apply what we did sa previous examples natin. So, do we have a vertex in our graph? So, the answer is yes, we do have the vertex. So, this is the highest point of our parabola here. Okay, and that point is 1 and 3, right? Because this is 1 and this is 3. Okay, so that's 1 and 3. And we will choose one point or a point of our parabola other than our vertex. So it's up to you what point. However, I will choose a point which is an intercept because it makes my solving much easier. So I have here this point which is my y-intercept, and that is 0, 1. So this is my other point or a point in the parabola, and this is the vertex of our parabola. So this is our h, and this is our k, and this is the x, and this is the y. So we will substitute them to the equation y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. So we will just do the same process that we did in our previous example. So our y is 1, a is unknown, x is 0, minus h, which is 1 squared, plus k, which is 3. So let's simplify that to find the value of a. 1 equals a times 0 minus 1, that is negative 1, squared plus 3. So 1 equals a, negative 1 times negative 1, that is positive 1, plus 3. So 1 is equal to a plus 3. So we have to transfer 3 to the other side, or you can subtract 3 on both sides. So it's up to you. So 1 minus 3 equals a. Therefore, our a is equivalent to negative 2. Okay. So since we got the value of our a, okay, we will substitute a and our vertex 1 and 3 to the equation. Again, y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. So that is y equals negative 2 x copy minus h, which is 1 squared plus k. Oh no, k is 3. Okay, plus k, which is 3. So if you notice, this equation is already in the quadratic function form. However, this is not in the standard form. So let's go back to our drill and let's find this equation if it matches to our answers. Okay, so letter B. So this is the equation. So this equation is the graph. This is the equation for the graph of this parabola, which is the letter B. So the answer for this portion is B. Okay, so moving on, let's proceed. Okay, let's erase this part. Okay, let's proceed. So let's simplify this one in the standard form. Okay, so that's y equals negative 2. So what's this expanded form for that? So that's x squared minus 2x plus 1 plus 3. So y equals negative 2. Distribute negative 2x squared. So negative 2 times negative 2. So positive 4x. And negative 2 times 1, that is negative 2 plus 3. So we can combine the last part because they are both constant. So y equals negative 2 x squared plus 4x plus 1, because negative 2 plus 3, that is positive 1. So this is the equation of our parabola in the standard form. Okay, that's the equation. Now, how about kung given tayo ng mga table of values? Katulad nito. So we have the table of values and then we are asked to determine the equation of our quadratic function. So una natin gagawin, we have to write the three equations where isa-substitute natin yung x at saka y na mga points natin. So we will come up, since we have 3 points here, we will have 3 equations. And then, afterwards, kung meron tayong masubstitute na value ng c sa dalawang equation, then we will substitute it and then we will have to solve the resulting systems of equation and then simplify. So first, let's write the 3 equation. Okay, so yung first equation will be for the point negative 1, 0. Negative 1, 0. So we will substitute that to y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So this is our x. Basically, this is your x and this is your y. So substituting that, your y is 0. Your a is unknown. X is negative 1, so negative 1 squared plus b times x, negative 1 plus c. So 0 equals a, negative 1 squared, that is positive 1, plus b times negative 1, that is negative b, plus c. So simplifying that one, we have 0 equals a, since a times 1 is a, plus minus b, so that's negative b plus c. So ito yung first equation natin. A minus b plus c equals 0. Now, let's proceed to the next equation. So, erase muna natin yung part na to. Okay. So, our second point is 0, 3. So, this is our x and y. Substitute ulit natin siya sa y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So, our y is 3. So, 3 equals a. X is 0 squared plus b, unknown. X is 0 plus c. So, 3 is equivalent to, since 0 ito, that will be cancelled. Kasi 0 times a, 0. B times 0, of course that's 0. So, that's c. We have c equals 3. So, our second equation is c equals 3. Okay, now let's proceed to the third equation. For our third equation, it will come from the point 3, 0. So our x is 3, our y is 0. So substituting that, that is 0 equals a 3 times 3 squared plus b times 3 plus c. So 0 is equivalent to a times 9, because 3 times 3 is 9, plus b times 3, that is 3b, plus c. So simplifying that, that is 0 equals 9a plus 3b plus c. So our third equation is 9a plus 3b plus c equals 0. Now, since c is equal to 3, we can substitute 3 to our equation 1 and equation 3. So, our equation 1 will become a minus b, so plus c, which is 3, so that's plus 3 equals 0. So we just replace our c by 3. And also, our third equation will now become 9a plus 3b plus 3 equals 0. So let's take equation 1 and equation 3. So that is a minus b plus 3 equals 0. And our equation 3 is 9a plus 3b plus 3 equals 0. So what we will do this time is we will do elimination method. Okay, elimination method is a process where we have to eliminate one variable in the two equations. So observe that we have two variables here, a and b, and we cannot solve if we have two unknowns. So we have to eliminate one variable. So how we will do that? So we will choose between a and b as to what variable we will eliminate. So I will choose a. I want a to be eliminated. However, I cannot eliminate a unless we have two opposite coefficients for a. So what's the coefficient for a on the first equation? We know that that is 1. And for the equation 2, the coefficient of a is 9. So we have to make it in such a way that the two coefficients for a are the same, and they have to be in opposite, so that if we add them, it will be 0. So we can cancel out a. So what I will do is I will multiply. So since this is already 9, I want the coefficient for a in my first equation to be 9. So what I will do, I have to multiply the first equation by negative 9. Okay, so multiplying that by negative 9, it becomes negative 9a positive 9b and negative 27 equals, so negative 9 times 0, that is 0. And then I will just copy this one, so that is 9a plus 3b plus 3 equals 0. So notice class, yung coefficient ng equation 1 natin ng a is opposite ng coefficient ng a in the third equation, which is this one. So since opposite sila, if i-add ko yung dalawang equation, ang mangyayari is ma-eliminate ito first terms natin. Because negative 9 plus 9, that is 0. So that is eliminated. That's why it's called elimination. So 9 plus 3b, 9b plus 3b, that is 12b. And then negative 27 plus 3, that is negative 24 equals 0. So 12b, we will transfer negative 24 to the other side, so that is equal to positive 24, and then divide 12 on both sides. So 12 divided by 12, that's 1, so 1b or b equals 2. So my b is equivalent to 2. Okay, remember the value of our c, because these are important values. So our c is 3. So we only lack the value of a. So hahanapin natin yung value ng a natin. Since we have c and b, alam na natin yung values nila. So how can we find for the values of a? So bumalik tayo dun sa original equations natin. So here, we have our first equation, ito, and our third equation, which is this one. So I will choose the first equation. Since alam ko na yung b, I can substitute the value of b here. And then, we will look this time for a. So, I will erase this portion. Okay. So, to solve for a, So by the way, our B is 2. So we will substitute the value of B. So A is unknown. So A minus 2, because my B is 2. B is equal to 2. So A minus 2, okay, plus 3 equals 0. So that is A, negative 2 plus 3, that is plus 1, equals 0. So the value of A is equal to negative 1. Okay, so our A is negative 1. So we know the value for A, B, and C. What we will do, we will substitute these values to this equation. Okay, so let's substitute the values. So as a review, A is negative 1, B is 2, and C is 3. So we will substitute these values to the equation y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So substitute a, b, and c here. So copy y equals a, that's negative 1 x squared plus b, which is 2, so 2x plus c, which is 3. Or y is negative x squared plus 2x plus 3. So this is our equation for the quadratic function, given the table of values. Okay, second example. So how about this table of values? So we will do the same process. We will find the equation for the quadratic function given the following table of values. So let's write the first equation. So for the first equation, it will be coming from the point negative 4 and 0. Our x is negative 4 and our y is 0. So we will substitute that to this equation again. So y is 0, so 0 equals a, x is negative 4 squared plus b times negative 4 plus c. So that is 0 equals a times 16 plus negative 4b plus c. So simplifying this, 0 is equal to 16a minus 4b plus c. So that is our first equation. Okay, so let's write our first equation. 16a minus 4b plus c equals 0. Okay, for our second equation, is from the point 0, 1. So our x is 0, our y is 1. So substitute it to this equation. So y is 1 equals a, x is 0 squared plus bx, b times 0 plus c. So this is cancelled and cancelled. So 1 is equal to c. So for the second equation, c is equivalent to 1. So let's find the third equation. So let's erase this. So for the third equation, it's from the point 4, 0. Okay, our x is 4, y is 0. So substitute it again to this equation. So 0 is equivalent to a 4 squared plus b times 4 plus c. Okay, so we have 0 equals 4 squared is 16, so that is 16a plus 4b plus c equals 0. Okay, we have 0 here, so it's very redundant. So for our third equation, that is that is 16a plus 4b plus c equals 0. So since c is equivalent to 1, since c is 1, we will replace c here to be 1, and for equation 3 also c is 1, so it becomes 16a minus 4b plus 1 equals 0. So this is now our equation 1. For equation 3, that is 16a plus 4b plus 1 equals 0. So this is our equation 1 and equation 3. Next step, we will do elimination method for equations 1 and 3. So copy 16a minus 4b plus 1 equals 0 and 16a plus 4b plus 1 equals 0. So remember, I told you that we have to choose between a and b which variable we want to eliminate. So this time, I will choose b to be eliminated, because if you notice, the coefficients of our b here, our b's, are in opposite. This one is -4 and this one is +4. So if we add them, obviously these terms here will be eliminated, or b will be eliminated. So adding them, 16a plus 16a, that is 32a, and -4 plus 4, that is 0. So that's why b is eliminated. And then plus 2 equals 0. So solving for a, we have 32a equals -2. Okay, that's -2. So divide both sides by 32. So a is equivalent to 32 divided by 32, that is 1. So 1a. So a is equivalent to -2 over 32, but that is still not in simplified form. So we can simplify that one, and that is equivalent to -1 over 16. So this is a. Okay, again, our a is -1 over 16. Also, our c is 1, right? So we have to find now, finally, the value of b. So what is the value of b? So let's go back to our equations, the 3 equations we have here. So we can use either equation 1 or equation 3 to find the value of b. So which one we will choose? So I will choose equation 1. So again, a is equivalent to -1 over 16. So let's substitute it here. 16 times -1 over 16 minus 4b, which is unknown, plus 1 equals 0. So 16 times negative 1, that's negative 16, and negative 16 divided by 16, that is negative 1 minus 4b plus 1 equals 0. So if we combine negative 1 and positive 1, that is 0, so we can cancel this. We are left with negative 4b equals 0, dividing both sides by negative 4. So our b is equal to 0. So since 0 divided by negative 4 is 0. Review, a is negative 1 over 16, b is 0, and c is 1. So we will substitute a, b, and c to y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So we copy y. A is negative 1 over 16 x squared plus bx, so that is 0x, and we know that is 0, plus c, which is 1. So finally, y is negative 1 over 16 x squared plus 1. So cancel this one. So plus 1 will be our equation for the quadratic function. Okay, how about writing a quadratic function given the zero? So as a review, zeros are the abscissas of our x-intercepts of the parabola, or these are the x-coordinates of the x-intercepts in the quadratic function. So I guess this is the easiest condition in finding equations for quadratic function, because what we will do, since zeros are considered as the roots, if we rewrite it in the quadratic equation, these are the roots actually. What we will do, we will just substitute it to the general rule, which is equivalent to y is equal to a times the binomial x minus r sub 1, or the first root, times x minus r sub 2, or our second root. So where a is any non-zero constant. So our zeros here, so we have to find the quadratic function, or the equation of our quadratic function, if we have the zeros negative 1 and positive 4. So we have to assign which is our r sub 1 and our r sub 2. So let's denote negative 1 to be our r sub 1 and positive 4 as our r sub 2. So substituting that, y is equal to a times x minus, so this one is the minus from the rule, and then this one here is the sign for 1, which is negative 1. Okay, this is the minus and this is the negative 1. So do not get confused. Times x minus r sub 2, which is 4. So simplifying that, y is equal to a times x. So negative times negative 1. So that becomes positive 1 times x minus 4. So we have to multiply the two binomials. So what is x plus 1 times x minus 4. So last time I discussed to you the vertical way of multiplying two binomials. You could also use FOIL. So it's up to you, or you can use distributive property. So x plus 1 times x minus 4 So negative 4 times 1, that is negative 4. Negative 4 times x, so that is negative 4x. X times 1, x. And x times x, that's x squared. Okay, so combining like terms, we have x squared, negative 4 plus 1, so that is negative 3x, copy x, and then minus 4. So y is equivalent to a. So the product of the two binomials here is x squared minus x squared minus 3x minus 4. Okay, so this is actually the general equation for our example here, if we have the zeros, negative 1 and 4. So a here represents any non-zero constant, meaning it could be 1, it could be 2, it could be negative 1, or it could be 1/2. So any non-zero constant, so that is a. So this is the equation for the quadratic function. Going back to the drill letter C, let's find the equation for the zeros, 2 and negative 5. So our R1, let's say our R1 is 2 and our R2 is negative 5. We will substitute this to our general rule if we have zeros, which is y is equal to a. Again, a could be any non-zero number or constant. So times x minus r sub 1 times x minus r sub 2. So that is y equals a times x minus 2 times x minus negative 5. So that is y equals a times x minus 2 times, so negative times negative 5, that is positive 5. So if we multiply these two binomials, that is equivalent to y equals a times x squared plus 3x minus 10. Okay, again, a is any non-zero constant, so a could be 1, or a could be 2, a could be negative 1. So it represents any non-constant value. So this will be the equation for our quadratic function if we have the zeros 2 and negative 5. Therefore, the equation for the zeros 2 and negative 5 will be this one. So this is letter C. So obviously, number 2 should be A. So I will leave that to you as an assignment. How did this table of values arrive into this equation?